All right, perfect. Hello, Optavia clients, Rock and Health, and everyone else who's joining in. I'm so excited for our weekly Zoom tonight. And we have one of our awesome coach partners sharing this evening some super helpful tips for you on meal prepping. So then that way you can have your lean and greens every week and have them simple, because I know that we all fall into the trap of it's dinner time, we're hungry, we open up the fridge, what's for dinner? Oh, I don't have anything ready. And then we tend to make unhealthy choices that way. So it's a work in progress, and we can't expect all of these changes to happen overnight. But Miranda has some awesome tips for us to be able to help us with that meal prepping. So, Miranda, I'm going to mute myself and unmute you, and you can get started here and share with us.
Awesome. Thanks, Miranda. Oh, you guys, I'm so nervous, and I think it's because I just want you to feel like this information is worth you taking the time out of your night. So I'm well prepared and hope that you've got a lot out of what I have to share with you. Meal planning and prepping has made my life so much easier. I am a mama of two little kiddos. I have a 3-year-old and a 10-month-old. And so with my hectic days, once dinner time rolls around, if I'm not ready, I, like Marissa said, tend to grab something quick and convenient and not always healthy. So prepping and preparing really makes my health better, and it makes me a much better wife and mama come evening time. So I'm just going to kind of share with you tips and tricks that I've found that work for me, that have been shared with me by other people, and ways that I hope that you find help to make your lean and green meal time easier and more convenient for you. So my first tip for you is to pick a time that you're going to plan and prep. You really need a block of time to get this done so that you can prepare yourself for the entire week. I find Sundays work really well for me because that's right before the start of a new week, and I've got the entire day off. So, you know, if you have a schedule that's not Monday to Friday, kind of choose a day when you have, 1 or 2 hours that you can block out for meal prep, because those 1 or 2 hours are going to be well spent to save you time throughout the week. Sometimes, especially if you're preparing a lot of protein ahead, you might want to do half of the protein on your major meal prep day and then find a smaller block of time, 20 or 30 minutes, maybe when you're using one of those prepped dinners throughout the week to make more of that protein to put away. But you want to make it part of your routine. It can't just be something random, or you're going to feel like it's a chore and that you're always searching for time and stressed out about getting that meal prep done. If you make it part of your routine, it's a lot easier to get done. So making a plan for your meal prep is huge. You want to get your recipes ready, find a way to keep them organized. Sandy's Kitchen, most of you have probably seen because Marissa's incredible at sharing it out, but it is an amazing resource for those lean and green meals. I'll post a link after this if you somehow haven't ever seen it before, but she has all of her recipes broken down with the condiments and the healthy fats. So those are a great resource in finding your recipes to use for the week. And then if you've got other meals to plan for your family that are exciting, you want those into your meal plan and prep day too. So I always make a whole bunch of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and put them in the fridge for the rest of my family. I make some egg cups. So having those other items, because then come lunchtime, you can grab your fueling, it's convenient, and then your spouse or children, they have something to eat also, and so you're not tempted by whatever you're maybe planning and making for them, especially on macaroni and cheese days. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want that so bad. So if there's something that's just like ready to go for them and I'm not having to make it and take that time, thinking of other meal times that you could prep for is also really helpful. Then your grocery list is where that prep is going to come. So you've got your recipes, you've thought about your meals for the week. making that grocery list is huge. Putting pre-cut veggies on there is not cutting corners. They are pre-cut for a reason. They're going to save you a lot of time on that meal prep day. So anything that you can get pre-cut, pre-washed, lettuce mixes that are ready to go, that's all really helpful. And then think about your recipes that you might double or triple for the week, things that could be frozen. I'm going to kind of do a sample of what I would do for my own meal planning. Things like lasagna that you could put away that are made with spaghetti squash or zucchini rather than the pasta noodles. Things that could freeze because you'll want to double them so that you're being most efficient with your time. And then you've got something to rely on next week or even later in the week. So you've got your grocery list, and then you head out to the store. Make sure you don't go to the store hungry. Grab a fueling before you go. Make sure it's a good time for you to be out. A great time for me is when our friend does an hour free child playtime, and so I make sure to go then so that I can be focused and get through the grocery store, and then use it kind of as my me time also. So stick to your list. You've made that list based on what you'll need for the week. With those ingredients, you have really that one main section in the grocery store. You're going to head for fresh veggies and then back in the butcher area to grab your protein. So stick to your list for your balanced meals. You're not going to get into those old habits of going through some of those inside aisles to be tempted by anything. And sticking to your list really helps you to have less waste throughout the week. Then you're going to get home with everything, and this is going to be your prep time. So you've planned, and now you're ready to prep. Look at those recipes, see what kind of ingredients double up, see how you need, especially like onions, chopping those, and then slicing them and having them put in bags ready for the week. Meal planning doesn't necessarily mean that you're making all of your meals for the week, but that you're getting all of those meals ready. So, you know, if you're going to have chili later in the week, that you've got everything cut up to throw in the crock pot that morning that you're going to have it. Or, you know, measuring out condiments to have those ready to add to your chicken when you've got it out for that day. So utilize all those gadgets on meal prep day. I get out my crock pot and I've got the KitchenAid going and I'm working on the stove and I've got something in the oven. I'm trying to get everything done in an efficient timeline because I've got to get back to those jobs, and I block myself out an hour for shopping and planning and then an hour for prep. So use those gadgets. Prepping like any of your veggies throughout the week, going through those recipes and looking at what can be cut and chopped and bagged for the week, and then thinking about which proteins could be prepped. So an awesome idea when you get to the grocery store is to grab a couple rotisserie chickens because those are ready to go for the week. They can be added to a soup if you decide to make a soup, or you can add them to a salad. They're really going to help you have something ready to go, already cooked. Another one is doing some ground turkey for the week and having that in the fridge. That's one of those that you might want another time during the week also to do a second batch of ground turkey for the week. But having some of those things prepared ahead of time that are not necessarily a total meal prepared, something that could be added to a meal or used with a meal. And then lots of containers. This is a huge one because I even go as far as to measure out like my salads for my lean and greens, and I put them in containers and have those so that it's as simple as just grabbing out that single serving container rather than even opening up the bag and measuring it out. Measuring out your lean and greens is going to be really helpful. You know, cut your broccoli and have it ready to steam or ready to roast, however you're going to eat it. Having all of the prep work done is where you're going to save the time. So I was just going to kind of do a sample because I know a lot of us have heard about meal planning and it seems kind of overwhelming, but I wanted to show you how easy it can be. So I think most of you on your screen should see my weekly menu. I was going to have to hold it up, but I found this fabulous share screen button. So you can see it. I love anything cute. You know, it kind of keeps me motivated. So each week I just print out a copy of my weekly menu. That's when I go in and I fill in what I'm going to have for dinner each day of the week. And then I think about what I need to prepare for my family for lunches and breakfasts, and I add those there too so that I can just quickly glance over between my meals and then my grocery list. So I went to Sandy's Kitchen and I printed off spaghetti squash, lasagna, chicken parmesan, and taco salad. So I'll share out these recipes, but I just printed them and then I'll organize them into I just have a folder where I keep all my recipes, because I find that if I pin things or find something on the internet that I make and I really like, that I can never find it again. So I try to print them out so that I have them convenient and ready, especially on a planning day. So chicken parmesan, things that you could get ready are measuring out. This chicken parmesan recipe also comes highly recommended from a new client of mine who has made it numerous times this week now because he thought it was so delicious. So I'll link you to the chicken parm recipe in case you're interested. You serve it on a bed of spaghetti squash. But even just measuring out into little baggies all of the herbs and seasonings so that you have those ready to go. So measure them out, and then you can just write it on there on your bag, throw it in the cabinet, and then when you go to season your chicken at dinner prep time that evening, that's ready to go. So one last thing. So on prep night, you're just measuring out your condiments, and then when you're ready to cook it, all you have to do is take that bag out. On prep night for the chicken parmesan and the spaghetti squash lasagna, I would be baking a couple of the spaghetti squash. If you have an Instant Pot, I've heard you can just throw it in whole for 17 minutes. So Instant Pot is on my Christmas list and probably should be for all of you. So then you've got all your spaghetti squash ready to go and just reheat. The spaghetti squash lasagna from Sandy's Kitchen can make 4 individual sizes that can be frozen for the rest of the week. So then you can just take them out and rebake them. So you could have it like Monday and Friday. So you've got all your spaghetti squash prepped. You've got your chicken parmesan seasonings prepped. You've got a couple spaghetti squash lasagnas that are prepped, some ready in the freezer, some in the fridge, and then one even to have that night. And then the taco salad, you could make all of the if you did ground beef, which is what is on the website, you would have a 5-ounce serving. But if you went with ground turkey, you could go up to even a 6-ounce serving. So you could have all of that seasoned and ready in the fridge in a container. You can have your lettuce chopped and ready, any of your extra veggies like tomatoes. And you could measure out your cheese and have it in a baggie with the lettuce, so that all you needed to do was take out, reheat the portion of turkey that you might want to put on there. And then, so the chicken parmesan, the spaghetti squash lasagna, and the taco salad should give you enough for at least 6 meals throughout the week. And everything was prepped and ready and just needed to be baked come dinner time. So even if you're getting home at 5:30 or 6 from work, a couple minutes to stick everything in the oven and then get changed while that cooks, then you've got a delicious, totally nutritional, lean and green ready to go for the week. So hopefully you guys have some takeaways and some nuggets. I'll share out the recipes that I chose for tonight in Sandy's Kitchen website, and then I'll also put a link to my little weekly meal planner for you guys. But if you have questions about what you can freeze and how to use your freezer meals, or you've got some ideas about recipes that you want to use for the week and what you can prep ahead, I'm happy to help if you reach out to me and kind of help you see what meal prep looks like for you on any given week and how it can save you some time. So hopefully you've got an idea of a couple things that you might be able to do this weekend to prepare for next week and have those lean and greens convenient and ready to go for you so that you are sticking to your plan and reaching your goals. Thanks, Marissa.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love it. Those were such awesome ideas, Miranda. And what I loved about that was that it makes it so easy and doable. And so you're not spending hours in the kitchen, but you're just getting things ready for the week, and you have a plan of like, okay, Monday night, this is what I'm going to have for my lean and green. Tuesday night, this is what I'm going to have. And yeah, those were great ideas. And that chicken parmesan recipe sounds amazing. So, so you guys, Miranda will post the links for the recipes that she shared. And then also we'll write up some bullet points from this topic and post it on our client page. So then that way you can even print it out and keep it in your kitchen. So yeah, such great ideas. I love it. Anything to make life easier and prevent us from ordering pizza or Chinese or, you know, eating the kids macaroni and cheese, which like, so yeah, thank you. Anyways, so what else? Yeah, so I think that's that. Thank you everyone for coming on. Remember, this is every week at 5:30 Pacific, and we'll have different coaches coming on sharing and different topics every week. So thanks again everyone for coming on, and I hope that you found this as helpful as I did. And if you haven't touched base with your coach yet before the weekend, I suggest doing that so that you could get a solid plan. So then that way you can keep charging through and reaching your goals for the week. So yeah, thanks again, everybody, and have a great rest of the evening. And coaches will just be staying on, and then we'll just transition real quick into our coach celebration. So thank you, everyone, for coming on tonight.